Alright, this is a third take of this video. I hope this will suffice. First time I had the wrong cable plugged in. Second time I forgot what the first take was about. So I need to check. And now I got my notes back, and this is about a post on a YouTube post, a video post on TJ Kirk, aka The Amazing Atheist's YouTube channel and his Tumblr. I noticed it first on Tumblr that 32% of the US citizens actually do believe that the conflict in Syria is a sign that the end days are here. Those not familiar with Christian theology, the end days mean that somewhere around this time there will be a massive battle between demons and angels. According to some adaptations, in some adaptations Jesus will slay Satan and death will stop to exist. Some adaptations, on the other hand, claim that human race will end and Jesus will come back. The common determinator on all of the theories is that it will be the second coming of Jesus. Yes. That is what at least 32% of Americans apparently believe, according to several polls. Check out The Amazing Atheist's video. I will link it down below in the description section, so you can check his video, which has the sources better than I do. I just say that the sources are better found in his video. Whether you think about the belief of these US citizens, whether you are a Christian from another religion, despise all religions, it doesn't make any sense. Why? Well, let's take the theological Christian point of view for starters. Any text in Bible you may citate, they state clearly that the coming of end days and the signs of it are only God's to know. So no mortal can ever know before they are here. That is why throughout the gospel Jesus tells his pupils to be forever vigilant. I don't think that when the creation story states that God created earth in 7 days, I don't think it actually means 7 days. God's days are a bit longer, and I just think he caused Big Bang, and so the events rolled on its own. But the days of Lord, in my belief, they may be millions of years long. Heck, we might still be at the seventh day when Lord was resting, because that's the best explanation for all the shit going on in the world in a theist's worldview, and the other option is that he doesn't give a fuck about us, which I would not like to think. But let's get back to the original point. Where was I again? When Jesus talks about the end days, they might last hundreds of millions of human years. They might last only hours. How the fuck do we know how God counts time? The way humans count time, I don't think God feels too obliged to count time or measure time the way we do. It just wouldn't be rational, at least in my opinion. So, in theological point of view, mortal can never know when the end days come, and God will never measure time the way humans do. I think those two arguments are decent to counter the Christian arguments. And if you want to counter religion with science, well, that would be too easy, wouldn't it? Because, I admit it, science makes almost always a lot more sense than religion. Because religion is about belief and believing in facts that might not really be there. Science is about leaning on the theory that possesses most knowledge and most logic currently. It's about the best theory that is most likely to be truthful than claiming that yes, we know the absolute truth. But if you think about it, we can scientifically estimate that our world still has, our solar system is still supposed to have at least another 5 billion years. So I don't think it is possible for the end days to come. Human race is not going to annihilate itself, at least completely. With nuclear war, it would most likely leave Africa mostly untouched, as well as Southern America and Australia, because at least Australians, they don't really give a fuck. Which is why in the event of World War III, I will move down to Australia. I actually have a few friends there, so I'd be saving my own skin there, because Finland being so close to St. Petersburg is a risk for US nuclear missile strike in the event of World War III, mind you. I don't think it's gonna happen, because diplomacy seems to be stepping in the way of the so-called New World Order, as plenty of conspiracy theorists like to call it. I'm not quite sure if I agree, but I know there's lots more going on in the US politics and Pentagon than just US politics and Pentagon. I don't know what's going on, but it's not driven by logic and critical thinking. So, diplomacy might delay or even prevent any outsider countries to participate in the conflict anyway. So it might not even happen, the conflict. Besides the civil war, which is practically... Let's be realists. The civil war would be over if the US military and the Turkish military wouldn't be training forces and giving weapons to the militants, the rebels, the freedom fighters, whatever. But it's not my point on this video. So, mankind wouldn't annihilate itself completely. So, end of humanity wouldn't mark the end days. The solar system and this Earth will not meet its doom for at least another 5 billion years. 4.5, 5.5. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure someone who knows more about these things will correct me if I was completely wrong. I don't think there's a lot more to say. Anyone who says that the end days are coming, ignore him, punch him in the face, tell him to stop fap on Bible. It's not cute. It's just stupid and gross, as is fundamentalist Christianity. So, who is allowed to represent God in this world if those nut jobs are not? I don't think God needs representation in the world, but if I would have to pick one type of person, well, let's read any of the Gospels. Jesus keeps telling a lot of people, leave your family, leave your wealth, leave your home, and follow me in poverty and help people. So lots of missionaries out there who aren't actually preaching that much nowadays. They're just doing their best to help, living in poverty, and if someone interested in their religion comes asking, they will tell the truth. Tell about Christianity and why they follow Christianity. That's the kind of person Jesus wants to follow him. At least I think so. The Gospels are full of that kind of message. Martin Luther seems to agree with my opinion. So as a Lutheran Christian, I have to claim that honest, humble people in humility and helpfulness are the best messengers of God. So, count me out of that. I'm selfish, annoying, irritating. Maybe I can serve him in my way, but it's not that way. I can't be the perfect representative of God in the world. I would never be able to pull that thing off. So, do you think I'm right about both the topics I discussed on this video? Throw me comments. Like this video, downvote this video, whichever you think it deserves. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of my stuff. I just posted earlier on last night a video on feminism and what I think about it. I was concentrating a lot on critical thoughts on Tumblr feminism and Anita Sarkeesian's Damsels in Distress video game trophy YouTube series, and you should check that one out if you are interested in my views on them. Currently my most popular video on YouTube is my views on sexual offenses and sex offenders. Well, that's always a hot topic, and I've been posting a lot of updates on news, what's going on in the world. Syria is one of the main concerns at the moment. I also reviewed Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, so if you like video games, check that one out. Catch you later, folks. I need to get some work done, and I also need to play some Rome Total War 2.